TorrentContent.com. Torrents. Lightning fast enlightenment.
Well, let's make a distinction here, okay? When we say, whenever you get into circles like this and they talk about, it's the Jews, and then some will even distinguish Zionist Jews, okay? So, this...
I want to ask you about that before we jump. I know I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry, but I want you to talk about. I actually wanted to ask you about that earlier, so I'm going to take this opportunity because somebody told me that what happened is that you had the Zionists to begin with, and that is actually the Zionists got infiltrated. That's the hack. That's actually what ended up happening. Is the Zionists then got infiltrated, taken over, and became the Jewish race? Is that true? What is that?
Well, Zionism. Zionism is, the idea of establishing Zion, right? Ultimately, a Zionist Jew is somebody who wanted to reestablish a nation state of Israel, right? Because let's honestly look at it. Is there anybody on the face of this planet that's actually carrying out the Jewish faith? No, not really.
Doubtful. I'm thinking, yeah.
It's impossible. It is absolutely impossible because Judaism, the setup of Judaism requires the temple, it requires the Ark of the Covenant, and it requires the sacrifices on certain Sabbaths. Okay? Is there a temple sitting in Israel right now? No. Where's the Ark of the Covenant? And they don't either. Or they may, but it's certainly not on Temple Mount, and there is no sacrifices happening. So you don't have biblical or Old Testament Judaism occurring on this planet. You can't. You can't have it without the temple, the altar, the priest, the priest class, the sacrifices. You can't have it. So if they're not practicing Judaism as God dictated, you have to come to the conclusion that it's not Judaism. It's something completely different. Okay.
And that is where I came to, but I couldn't, and maybe I just haven't done enough research, but I couldn't determine then, and this is where I came up with the hack idea or the infiltrated idea, is because you can't. It's like it goes from one to the other, and there's no history in between or something. Does that make sense to what I'm saying?
Well, there is a little history after the the Passion of the Christ and everything, and the veil in the temple being rent in 70 A.D. according to Yeshua in the Old Testament or the New Testament. The temple was destroyed. Not one brick lay upon another because the Romans came in and scraped all the mortar, which happened to be gold, in order to get that out. And so you have a exodus. Some of the Semites went south, and then some went north. That's where you get the Ashkenazi and the Sephardic Jews. All right. Now, if you're really into genetics, my God isn't a racist and doesn't believe in a super race. All right. My God and the God of the Bible and the Old Testament talks about being a spiritual Jew has absolutely nothing to do with your genetics. Nothing. Okay? So the idea... It
doesn't have to do with genetics, because I thought that was the whole freaking idea, is that they were the chosen race because of exactly that.
Not according to the Bible.
Okay, so explain that a little bit, because I'd like to... I want more definition on this, I think, because people aren't taught this.
No, they're not taught this. And unfortunately, in Christianity in America and probably the world, any of your Protestant denominations, most of their prophetic perspectives is absolutely dependent upon a genetic line from a character called Abraham, okay, and the return of this land that we call Israel. All right. So, if you go to a Baptist church or most of your Methodist churches and they talk about the end times, this great apocalypse, this great revelation, the tribulation of the Bible that is really a self-fulfilling prophecy, it's based off of the land over there in the Middle East becoming a nation, the land of Israel. All right.
Becoming a nation. Now, I guess I struggle with that, because what does that mean really? Like, because when you become a nation, so they want to be their own what? Like, I don't understand that, because to me, what it looked like is it's like, okay, no one else is the same. Like, everybody else is is below us kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what the Talmud teaches. The Talmud teaches that that everyone who is not a Jew is what's called a goy or a goyim, that we're less than human, we're animals, and in order for the Shekinah glory of God to return to earth, like it did above the Ark of the Covenant, they either have to annihilate all the goyim, non-Jews, or they have to bring the world of goyim, the goy, into submission. Okay, that's not me anti-Semitic saying that. That's what the Talmud fucking says. Okay,
right.
Sorry. I mean, that's what it says. So it's the people who do subscribe to that belief structure. And look, if you go to a synagogue, 99.99% of your quote Jewish people don't even know this stuff. Just like 99.99% of the Christians don't read the Bible. The same thing goes for practicing Jews. They don't know. Okay. But a rabbi would probably know if he's read the Encyclopedia Judaica or the Talmud. You know, he knows that there's things in the Talmud that says if you and a goy go to court and the judge is a goy, he has to rule against the goy, the Gentile. You know that the Talmud teaches that it's okay to have sex with a child under 6 years old because they are perpetually a virgin. It's okay to sodomize a child under a certain age. It's okay to murder goy. This is in the writings. Okay, it's what it is. All right. Are they teaching that to the congregations of their synagogues? No. But you know what? In Baptist churches, they're not teaching their congregations that by never questioning what the state of Israel does, you have a lot of Palestinian babies getting blown up all the damn time. You're not going to hear from a Baptist congregation. They're not going to be told or shown images of the Palestinians having a genocide committed against them, a Holocaust committed against them. Why? Because they're indoctrinated through what? Fear-based mind control. They are repetitiously told in Christian churches, okay, that you better not question Abraham or the offspring of Abraham, because those are God's chosen people. So you mean to tell me that God's chosen people are committing genocide? That's the will of God? Really?
It's disgusting. Like, I don't understand. See, this is where I get so frustrated, I guess. And this is where, honestly, and maybe this is my own, I've learned a lot from you, Daniel, about the Bible readings. In fact, I actually talk about you to other people recently because you have changed my perception.
Good, man. I'm glad.
It is. It is a good thing. But
and look, Sherry, it pisses me off because the Bible is a beautiful, beautiful collection of documents.
Right.
And it pisses me off that it has been hijacked, and the person of Jesus or Yeshua and his true message has been hijacked, bastardized in such a way where people who have been religiously abused, which is really everybody, won't even take the time to really look at it and go, wait a second, this is not what the book says.